to draw that southpaw jab from Harrison. But Harrison knows what's expected and he's not obliging. So two good pros who know what they're doing, just boxing their way into this, concentrating and not making any mistakes.
In the amateur days, Harrison was the sorcerer and Hay the apprentice. Things have changed so much now. Looking for an angle for the punch again. It's been a bit of a standoff so far in this opening round, a reconnaissance mission, if you like.
That could be one of the problems for Hay. Harrison is quick on his feet, he's very defensively minded, so Hay's going to have to lunge it now and again to get close. He's trying to shuffle his way close, it's not working, so he tried to lunge with the shot there. There's hardly been a decent punch landed in the opening round yet. A couple of flicks to the body from Hay. I mean, you have to expect this. When you're in with a man who can take your head off with one shot, then you can't blame Harrison maybe for just warming his way into things here. But Hay's looking for him already.
Almost exaggerated caution in this opening round. One or two boos from restless fans. They both know that each other have got a bit of a dig and are respectful of that. No punches landed in this round so far. And there are, what, a few seconds left of it.
Well, Hay looking the more positive, but just can't close the range. Harris is making sure of that, so not too much happened, and the crowd are aware of that.
Your job is to terrify.
Adam Booth with David Hay looking very thoughtful in the corner. And that first round, I have to say, it was a 0-0 draw.
That's exactly what it was. And what you have to remember in this kind of fight, Hay is the one who's expected to produce. So if we get another couple of rounds like this, then he's the one who's going to have to take the bull by the horns, take some chances. He is the champion, he is the one who brings excitement. So that's when he could run on to something.
Look at Hay's right glove up very high, worried about maybe that left hand that Harrison flattened Michael Sprock with, aware of that. But can he engineer any angles of his own? He's unusually cautious, David Hay, almost like he was with Nikolai Valuev on the night he won the title, when he made the Russian just lunge at him and miss all night. It was an unsatisfactory affair. There's something has to give soon.
Yep, he cannot do this for any great length of time because the fans won't put up with it. I mean, there was euphoria after the Valuev victory, although it was one of the poorest fights I've seen. This is more like it. But you see, again, Hay is having to lunge forward. He cannot box his way close. He's having to lunge with the punches, and there won't be the same power in them.
I just wonder whether Harrison, even though he's a southpaw, might be able to land the right hand, because look at the left glove of Hay, which is low, and he has been caught by that before as well. Whether he could surprise him with that. All the talk about the backhand, the left of Harrison.
I think the Harrison plan is to get the second half of the fight, whatever method you have to use to do that. And I think the referee's going to have to call for a bit of action. He's done that.
He has. Luis Pavon from Puerto Rico says, how about some action, guys? And he's well within his rights to do that.
I think the 3-stone weight difference is a disadvantage in the first half of the fight, but an advantage if the fight goes into the later stages. And I can assume that is the plan the Harrison camp have. Do whatever's necessary to still be there, 7th and 8th round.
Harris had to take a right hand there from Hay, who's done a little bit more in this second round. But that is a comparative remark, and he gets there again with a right hand.
But again, leaping with the punches. So there's no power in those shots because he's not setting himself. Power comes from speed and good balance. He's completely off balance in order to get some sort of punch home.
But it's Hay who's trying to make the fight anyway in round two. Still very, very negative. Audley Harrison, I think one southpaw jab is just about all I've seen from him really so far.
Ian, I think this is what we have to expect from Audley Harrison. I mean, he's been reluctant throughout his career. You cannot expect him to take chances against David Hay. I don't expect him to do that.
Hayes round, it has to be.
He's beginning to go into his shell already.
He's scared. Okay? Now it's time to start working defense and start pushing it just a little more on it.
Okay.
When you step in with the jab. Okay? That's what I want you to do.
Shadid Saluki in the corner, a West Coast trainer in the USA. Now, that to me, I think that's about the only punch he's landed so far.
Yeah,
Harrison.
and you can see the look on his face. As soon as it landed, he was ready to get out of there, and there he goes. But this has to be expected of Harrison. It's in his psyche to box like this anyway. He's an on-top fighter. He has to get on top before he lets the big punches go. But the good news for the fans is that he is expected to do better. So as we're reaching the stage, he is going to have to produce something, or the fans will be on his back.
Not really seen an awful lot of the speed we were talking about and thought we'd see from Hay when he came in at only just over 15 stone. That, by the way, is nearly 12 pounds less than he weighed last time against John Ruiz.
But that's because, even for his size, Harrison is quick on his feet. He's been backing off. As soon as Hay nudges himself into punching range, Harrison takes that little half step back, just trying to draw lead. Good right hand there. Harrison grab and hold.
And another right hand and another body shot. Hay goes to work, still nothing from Harrison. And at some point in this fight, he is going to have to lay it on the line on this his biggest professional night if he wants to become a world champion. Another big right hand has hurt him. He was stunned by that. The gloves were dropped. Hay knows it. Looks for an uppercut. Getting to him here. He's getting to him here. Oh, big shots raining through. Harrison has to suck it up. He does suck it up.
Ian, that was a tremendous punch. Full credit for taking that. He needs to grab hold. He needs to grab hold of David Hay.
Broad Audley Harrison. Down he goes in round 3. Can he get up? Counts at 6. He gets up at 8. Shows the courage he does want to go on. But Hay hits very hard and he hurts. And he's going to finish it here. I think he does finish it. All over in round 3. There's your answer. David Hay shows his class in a fight in which Audley Harrison barely threw a punch.
Well, the fight reached the stage where Hay was the one who was expected to do something, and he certainly did that. The speed, the power completely took charge. Full credit to Harrison, not on his performance, but for a couple of those tremendous punches that he took to the chin and remained upright. Credit also for coming up off the floor and trying to get back in when he was completely out of things. We won't call it a tremendous fight, we'll call it a tremendous finish for David Hay. The pressure is off him now. He could not afford to lose tonight. His whole career, his whole life was on the line, and he produced the goods.
At least Harrison did get up. He didn't stay down and wait for the count to get to 10, which would have been an easier route. He got up, he took his licks, I guess, but I think he's going to be desperately disappointing. You wonder really if that has to be the end. There they are, the old amateur friends who've become foes. Maybe now they'll make it all up again. There's personal messages there, but the apprentice of old has beaten the sorcerer of old there, and really he blew it away. David Hay is class. I think you saw again there. I think he is a very, very heavy hitter.
Yep, and I feel, as I said, as he entered the ring, now that he's up from cruiserweight, he doesn't have to battle with the scales. I think he's punching even harder, and I don't think there's any heavyweight in the world today, including both of the Klitschkos, who could take the power if David catches them cleanly on the chin. He hits hard enough to knock out any heavyweight. That's why I'm complimenting Harrison on the fact that he took some tremendous punches before he folded. But will he regret tomorrow that he did not let one big left hand of his own go?
But you have to say, it was a dreadfully negative performance by Harrison, that.
Yes, it was, but we've had some of those. We couldn't expect him to be any different. We know he is Audley Harrison.
Come on, Jim, not even when he's fighting for the world title, when he says it's his night of destiny. We accept that, do we?
Ian, we have to accept it, but I think his plan was to try to get through the early stages, to cover up and hopefully make some sort of impression when the pace slowed. He couldn't cope with David's power, he couldn't cope with his speed. All he could do was try and get some rounds by, but you can see here, completely gone, showing courage, staying upright there. I mean, at least 3 punches there should have put him on the floor, so we'll give him that credit. We couldn't expect him to do anything else. He's Audley Harrison, he spent a career doing this. Just not in the same class. As I said before the first bell sounded, he is a genuine world-class warrior. Harrison is not.
But we were invited to believe in the build-up to this fight that suddenly he would reinvent himself. Tonight it would all be different, well, but Ian, it wasn't different.
Ian, if you did believe that, it's your own fault.
No, I don't. I'm not saying I believed it.
Exactly, because he said it before every fight, and he said it after every fight, every comeback. But look at what he's taking here. This man, David Haye, is totally different class to Audley Harrison. We thought that when the match was made. Well, a little bit hypnotised.